No, it's good to have her back in the gym. I know the girls were all really excited to have her back and be able to learn from her. The experience and the playing skills that she has are second to none. And so for them to have an opportunity to have her on the bench is fantastic for this program. And I know the fans are really excited to have her in the gym too, just to have her back as a Husker now.
All right, did Bergen Riley plan that? Did she know she was going to go with the dump on the first touch right away?
I don't know. Sometimes they plan it. Sometimes they say, come right out of the gate, make sure they're paying attention to you. And sometimes it's just, that's the way it works.
Mom Bergen's like, if I get a good pass, I am putting this down.
She's like, I want one, guys. I'll give you plenty.
Tipped by Murray, not down. Good dig by Choboy. And Murray just inside the in-line.
Such a great swing. She does such a good job of hitting high on those balls. And that ball, if you could see where the set was coming from, way back in the right corner back there, that's a long set for the setter to make. And it's hard sometimes for the hitter to see the block when they're looking so far away from the setter. But Murray does such a good job of swinging high. She can hit around or through seams in the block pretty consistently on that, which is fun to watch. Another great up by Choboy there.
Spartans ran the middle, not there. Then the touch and pushed out wide. Nebraska opens up with a quick 3-0 lead. And for the Husker fans here at Devaney Sports Center, this is a good sign, right? I mean, the last few matches, they've gotten down quick early and had to struggle through set one.
Yes, I actually think that looked in on the replay. I didn't think it was live, but no, I think it is a great start. I think as a team, if you can start off strong, it lets you settle into a rhythm instead of feeling like you're always playing catch-up. And so, especially how some of the last matches have started, it's a really good feeling for the Huskers to start out strong from the gate.
What a great push there by Riley, going behind her to Beeson.
They have a good connection. It's fun to see them when they're clicking together.
Riley now to serve. Pulls Bishop off the net a bit. Nebraska's block is there, and the Huskers with their first block of set one. Take a look at that kill by Beeson and the push by Bergen Riley.
Pushes it all the way back there, gives Merritt the full court to see, to be able to see between the block. The block didn't quite close, and she has great vision to see that hit right between them.
Just inside the back line again. Nebraska on a roll here early. And Aaliyah Johnson's going to take a quick timeout in set number one. Much different set one story this time around against the Spartans. Nebraska out quickly here in Lincoln. They're hitting 667 on top 6-0. Shank pass. Right back to Murray. He goes off the top of the block, not down. That puts the Spartans out of system through the block, and the first point for Michigan State.
I think that set tempo wasn't quite what Murray was expecting. She didn't get to it quick enough to swing high, and she was smart enough to see that and just kind of throw it over and try to play it off their block. But I don't think that set was quite what she was expecting.
You can see Riley and Murray talking after the set.
Yes, and that's a huge part of any team is communicating, especially with the setter, because she's touching every ball that a hitter's hitting. So if you're expecting a different tempo, you got to talk it out so that the next ball you don't just keep making the same mistakes.
Rand Mendelson back-to-back. Neither terminated. That does not clear the net, and point for the Huskers.
Yeah, I think after the outing they had last time against Michigan State, Coach Cook has definitely been working with them and saying, hey, we got to get these middles active. We got to get them active early. We need more production from our middles tonight. So they're going to keep going back to them and trying to give them opportunities to score and become part of the game.
Speaking of middles, how about that swing from Amani MacArthur?
That's a nice swing. It's great timing. She adjusts to go behind her setter. As her setter steps forward, she comes in right behind her, opens up a seam in the block, and she hit really well off of that.
MacArthur, a fifth-year player after transferring from Charlotte. She was first-team All-Conference USA transfer from Charlotte. Big swing there. She hits .353 on the season. Krause now in, go right at her, and the ace for the Spartans.
That's a tough serve. Michigan State's been a tough serving team this season. They lead, I want to say they lead the Big Ten, or they're high in the Big Ten in serving percentages.
1.7 aces per set.
Yes, which is actually higher than Nebraska. Yep. So I know the Huskers they're fully aware of that. and they've been preparing. But that was a tough serve right at Krause and high, where it's tough to get behind the ball and around it.
It was the 19th ace of the season for Nalani Yosia. Yosia, the transfer from Texas. Now she has 19 service errors to equal the 19 aces that she has on the year. And back to serve now for Nebraska is Lexi Rodriguez. Tried to swipe it off the hands of the swing by Moore. That's not down. Andy Jackson tries to put it down. Good job defensively by the Spartans. First swing for Krause. And Lindsay Krause has been phenomenal in Big Ten play over the last 4 matches. It's been terrific.
She has, and I think she had to take some time off. She had an injury, and so ever since she's come back from that, I think she's shown that she worked really hard to get back in a position to be able to play, and her play has been showing it. It's been paying off for her.
Over the last 4, she's hit 412, 471, 381, and 519. At 519 and 381 led her to be named Big Ten Player of the Week for the first time this year for the Huskers.
Those are phenomenal numbers, especially for an outside, where if people keep in mind that a lot of the sets that she's going to be swinging at are out-of-system balls where it's not a perfect pass or a perfect dig, and she's just getting thrown kind of a junk ball up high. And to be able to do something with that and still hit those high numbers is really exciting.
I think every bit as impressive as the high numbers as you see the kill by Michigan State is that in each one of those 4 matches, she's had 1 hitting error in each one.
Yes.
And that's as many out-of-system balls as she's taken. To only have 1 error is...
Yes, that's playing really, really smart and recognizing if the set isn't there to go after it and crush it. She's playing very smart to keep those hitting errors low, and that's what allows her percentage to stay so high.
Cameron Berger now in to serve. And serve wide by the Spartans.
I think they're showing very early their serving strategy is going after Lindsay Krause. She was on the sideline. They're coming after her again on that one. After they aced her on that ball earlier, I don't know if you guys noticed, but on the next play, Lindsay immediately shifted off the court to go hit, and Lexi Rodriguez shifted over to play that ball down the line. They ended up serving out. But the Huskers are aware of that, and I love to see that they make an adjustment very quickly, so the next time it happens, they're ready. They're not going to give them a roll of 2 or 3 points. When they can help it, they're going to adjust and be ready to make something happen different.
How about that swing from Andy Jackson on the overpass? Do you love those that are right inside the 10-foot line?
Yeah.
Straight down.
Oh, yeah. They look so cool.
Into the block of Krause, off of the swing by Duzema. And the block there again, and point for Nebraska.
Nebraska showing their blocking strength. This is what makes them one of the best defensive teams in the nation. They are touching so many balls and they're blocking. Even when they get covered, the other team isn't hitting a great ball on their second attempt because it's such a strong block to hit against.
Second block for Nebraska, and the Huskers extend.
Incredible to watch. It's just fun volleyball when it's such a high level.
Purdue match was certainly close, and some good calls and late in a couple of sets for Nebraska led to that win, but still a 3-2 victory.
Yeah, they had to show grit to hang on through tough games like that.
Boy, great job there for Nebraska off a big swing in the middle by Ukor, and then the block. Wow!
That was a great defensive play by Lexi, but I love the way everyone else on the team was keyed in and they're ready to help touch the next ball. She pops it up, which is just incredible, but someone else is down ready to play the second ball, and the Huskers are all ready. So when they surprised Michigan State, I think, with the ball coming back over, Michigan State wasn't quite expecting it, and they overpassed it and allowed us to get the point off of that.
2 kills on 4 swings for Krause here early on. Right up by Beeson, and then the dive by Rodriguez, tipped over by Jackson. And nothing easy right now for the Spartans. But there's the big block with that right hand by Taylor Hold'em.
That was a nice move by Hold'em. She saw the set going out and got right in front of it and dove in front of it. That's something that Andy Jackson is going to have to keep working on through the season. Some of the teams have capitalized on that, knowing her tendencies. And if she can see the block sooner, she can still hit around them when they make that move.
Off the tape. Pushed over by Riley. Line was there, a touch there was, and the kill for Grace Kelly.
That's a nice swing deep down the line, high off the block like that. It's almost impossible for the defense to get up. That's a really, really smart play by Kelly.
Good job out of the timeout here by the Spartans. 15 service errors for the Spartans the first time these two teams met. Nebraska equaled that with 15 service errors, but the Huskers were able to counterbalance that with 10 aces, whereas Michigan State only had 3.
Yes, and that's such an important part of the service game. You want to serve aggressive and you want to try and get aces, but if all you're going for is aces and you're making error, it doesn't help. So you have to find a balance, and I think the Huskers are really working hard to find that balance. They've done a pretty nice job.
Third block of this first set for Nebraska. And now Krause back to serve.
Another tough serve that puts it back in Nebraska's hands.
A great pace on that and just wide by Murray. They were running quick tempo there.
They were. They weren't waiting for anything. It was a good set, though. It was great tempo. She was clicking. She was right on tempo with Bergen. She just missed a little bit wide, but I like that play.
So Okor now back to serve. Okor out of Istanbul, Turkey. You ever been there?
I have. I actually played 3 seasons there.
I do.
When I saw her name on the program, there's actually 2 gals on Michigan State who are from Istanbul, and I can't remember names enough to know if they're 2 girls I played with or not.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the teams out there will have, younger high school-aged girls playing or training with their teams who might not play in the match, and so there's a chance I played with her older sister or something too.
Good swing in the kill by Murray. She's got a couple of kills now. Good balance here for Nebraska. 2 for Beeson, Krause, and Murray, and just long.
I thought that looked in, and all the Huskers are yelling for it. I think Coach Cook has to do that. All the crowd is yelling too. Everyone lined up along that end line is pointing down and saying, that was in, that was in. I mean, I know we're kind of a long ways away, but that looked in to me.
Well, that's tough to be the line judge when everybody roars. It's right after you make the call.
Yes. That's so in.
Yeah.
It's a tough job in Lincoln, Nebraska. That's a tough job.
Right. Oh, yeah. That is in.
But I love the confidence Coach Cook has in his players. You'll see it after sometimes they hit a ball and they think it got touched or it was in and they thought it was out. They'll tell him and he goes with it. He doesn't doubt them, and I love that confidence because I think that makes the team feel more confident knowing their coach has their back too.
On the season, Kennedy Orr with 3 aces. This, we believe, will be number 4. That looks like it's right on the line. And Patty Rolfe is our R2. She says it's in.
Good call, good use of the challenge. That was a beautiful serve. The Huskers train that. They train to hit the back. Years ago, it was the back 3 feet. They may have gotten even more specific now, but they train to hit that back stretch of the court because that's the toughest ball to pass. You have to move the furthest. So that was a great serve by Kennedy. Glad they got the call right for her.
Another tough serve by Kennedy Orr. No touch. Swing is long.
A couple things have been happening this set that I think are really good to see. Nebraska's been serving really tough. They've had Michigan State out of system a lot where they're not running the setter right at the net, having every option. She only has limited options. But then our block has been so effective that now Michigan State's hitters are trying to hit different shots that they maybe wouldn't otherwise. And so you see more errors piling up for them as well.
Between the block. Good kill there by Grace Kelly. Or Grack, as they call her.
I love that nickname.
Second on the team in kills per set. She had 6 kills last time these two played a week ago. So back in to serve and set out of the back row in this 6-2 offense that Michigan State runs is Julia Bishop.
Excellent communication by the Huskers. They're following it. They're all talking to each other. Right now, I think they're really feeling in the groove. And that doesn't always happen for a team. And I think some of the matches on the road that they went through, that wasn't really happening. So it's good to see that they're back gelling together.
4 service errors for Michigan State. None for Nebraska. Run the quick middle again. That timing has been really good between MacArthur and Bishop.
Yeah, MacArthur's been getting up quick, and she's got a strong arm. She's been able to work around our block. So upcoming sets, and even to finish this one, our blockers are going to have to make an adjustment, really push to get over, take away her strong angle.
2 kills on 3 swings for MacArthur. She had 3 a week ago when they played. Hit 111. And Murray with a little power on that one.
She has such a quick arm. She's so fun to watch as a hitter. She just powers through that ball, and the defense is right there, but they couldn't control it and keep it on their own side, much less in over the net. She's a fun player to watch. I love her power.
Great set decision, too, by Riley. Held the middle. It was almost a one-on-one. The middle was there, and there is Nebraska's first service error.
See, you had to jinx it. They say you don't talk about it. No, they've been serving well. Some errors are going to happen, but they've been serving well.
Leah Johnson, 4 consecutive NCAA tournaments when she was at Illinois State. Side Krause.
Great swing. She had to step inside to get to that set. It was a little bit inside. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. Sometimes they do that when the setter's pulled off the net. But you can see her jump to where the ball is. She snaps right inside that block. It's a great kill.
If Krause can continue this type of efficiency, the way she's played over the last 4, very similar to the way she played in the latter half of the Big Ten last year in the NCAA tournament, makes Nebraska so dangerous, given you have another outside along with Murray that you can throw it up to, and now Krause, a piece on the other. Just so many options.
So many options, and that's what makes a team so hard to defend, is when everybody is a threat. Yeah, Krause's playing great. It's fun to see her come out ready to play, and she's just being very aggressive, going after it. It's great to see.
Cameron Berger back in. She's the freshman setter out of Eden Prairie, Minnesota. She will set out of the back row. Krause swipes that. Great reaction, and Bergen able to keep that up. Riley pushes out to Krause off the top of the block. Down the line, and a kill by Hold'em.
Hold'em has good vision on that. She sees that Merritt Beeson is coming and jumping in just a little bit. That's opening up a seam down the sideline right inside the antenna. She does a great job seeing that, and that ball is shoulder height for Bergen Riley to dig. So that's a tough ball to dig. She's either got to step back a little bit further or tell Merritt to close that line off.
Hold'em's out of New Zealand, Christchurch, New Zealand, a freshman.
And she's been having a great freshman season for them. They have several international players. 2 from Turkey.
Yeah.
I think a couple from Poland, New Zealand. It's fun for announcers to try to figure out their names.
Yeah, it's a blast. Yeah. Jackson with the kill, and Nebraska is 2 away here in set number 1. Goes right off the fingertips of Okur.
She's hitting so high that if the block isn't committing to her, she's able to hit over them because they're still coming up trying to catch up to the ball.
Tough serve. Krause again off the top of the block. And Lindsey Krause now with 4 kills to lead Nebraska on 6 swings. No errors. She's hitting .667. Nebraska as a team here in the first, hitting .370. This is set point. Overpass put down by Jackson.
Another tough serve. I love to see the Huskers coming out. I think they're more comfortable serving in Devaney. So it's good. They've had a long stretch on the road. It's good to see them back home, come out, serve tough, get the other team off guard a little bit and off balance. Say easier.
Oh, this sounds like an outside hitter speaking to me.
I think middles have to work the hardest of anybody on the court. But they typically only have 1 block, so they can have higher hitting percentage numbers in general.
We knew what you meant. Sorry, give me a hard time.
Oh, it's okay. I like to be able to explain myself.
Mendelson off the block. That hits the hand of MacArthur. And Maggie Mendelson, who got the start tonight with the kill.
Yep, Maggie's on the board now. That's her first kill. It's good to see him get her going too.
Into the net.
Back serving for the Spartans, number 1, Nolani Yosia.
Nolani Yosia now to serve. Powering through the block. And then Harper Murray there, one-on-one block off the swing of Hold'em.
That was such a great reaction by Harper. It was a great up by Bergen and right back there, but it was coming over the net, and Harper turned to see where the dig was and turned right back around and was all over it on the block. It's a great reaction. That's hard to do, spinning 180s like that.
A couple of very talented freshmen battling each other there with Murray and Hold'em. Go the other way this time. It was wide of the swing. No touch point. Nebraska off the hand of Aaliyah Moore.
That was a really great read by Mendelson there to see the setter trying to come over with it. She was all over it. Shut that down right away.
Michigan State's really been kind of tinkering with that lineup a bit. Aaliyah Moore playing right side here tonight. Duzema's been playing some right and middle both. Just trying to still, I think, figure out the right mix. They've also had some injuries.
Yeah, they've had a couple ankle injuries, like smaller injuries that aren't necessarily a huge problem, but enough that they want to try something else. And I think they're also trying to find the right fit. For a team, it doesn't always mean who's getting the most kills. You have to also gel with the players around you and find the right rhythm. So they're still probably trying to find that as well.
Another one of their talented freshmen, Karolina Stanishevska, out of Poland. She rolled an ankle and hasn't been cleared to play all 6 rotations yet, so they're without her. It's a talented young Michigan State team that Leah Johnson has recruited, but across the net is another talented young team.
Yeah, there's some young talent on the Husker side as well. No, I think that messes with the team's chemistry as well when players are out, for an ankle injury or whatever it is, because you get used to playing next to certain people, and then to try and change what your expectations are and knowing who's playing which ball and all that stuff changes depending on who's on the court. Even though you don't want it to, it is typically different. And so for Michigan State, that's going to be a big challenge for them as they put players in and out or somebody's injured and then they come back, is being able to find that rhythm with the 6 players they have on the court.
4th kill there for Andy Jackson. Into the block. And off the top of the block. Rand Jackson quick again. Nice spin save by Okor. Rolled over. And nice shot by Taylor Hold'em.
It's a great shot. It's really smart. She sees the block and she knows that the right side defender is playing a little bit deeper down the line. So when you got your right side way back there, this spot up here is going to be open. And so that's just a really smart play. And you see our player almost makes the play. She almost gets it up, but not quite enough. Gives Michigan State the side out.
One-on-one. Called under the net, maybe, over the line.
Yeah, I think so.
Called on Lexi Rodriguez. I don't know if that went off Rodriguez's shoulder or face, but
it was just kind of it hit me. I didn't really play the ball, kind of an up.
Go right back to Beeson again. Good hustle, kept alive. Nice job defensively for the Spartans. What a great diving effort, but not over. And point for Michigan State.
There was great hustle on both sides of that there by both teams. You can see here in this play, Michigan State gets a good ball. They pop it up and they have to chase it down way off the court. And then it comes back to the Huskers and they have a similar play. Lexi's giving it her all, trying to get that ball over. She almost did. She's the kind of player who actually could. There are a lot of players who can't, but she actually could. That timing just seems off to me on that ball. Krause was ready, and she had to hang and wait for it. Not quite sure what's going on there, but they're not on the same page.
That was on the same page to Merritt Beeson on the right side.
That'll work. That'll work. Merritt is very definitive about that one. It's a nice push back again by Bergen, and Merritt sees that line. She knows the block is late coming out. She sees the line and just crushes it down the line.
Serve is long from Beeson.
Point, Michigan State.
So now back to serve. Neil Okor. Not playing the last 2 matches last weekend against both Nebraska and Northwestern, but prior to that had started the first 5 matches of 2023. In those 5, she was hitting almost 500. Just long off of the hand of Grace Kelly.
That was a good read by the Huskers to let that go, but I actually thought Michigan State had 4 touches before they sent it back over. I was surprised when they played the 3rd touch, I thought, out to their outside to swing, because I thought that was the 4th touch when she hit it over.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But clearly I'm wrong, because the ref didn't call it. What's right is what the ref calls. We've learned that.
On the slide goes Jackson. Boy, what an angle there. She shaved off.
Sharp angle. She accelerated to get up to that ball. And for a middle hitting a slide, if you have to slow down for the ball, it takes away so much momentum. She had to actually speed up to get up and hit that ball. And that is what allowed her to get around it so quick and turn it back down. It was a great hit by her and a great adjustment.
Off the tape and service error. Back to even. We'll check that 8-7 now.
For Michigan State, number 13, Aaliyah Moore. In the serve, number 25, Julia Bishop.
Here's Julia Bishop now to serve. Checking on the rotation. Want to make sure. Got it right now. It's another negative of having players in and out of the lineup and running a 6-2 and not everybody in the same place and playing different positions.
Yes, there's a lot of movement going on, and so sometimes for players it can be a little bit, they're so into the game that they forget where they are on the court.
Impressive swing here by Beeson out of the back row.
You can see how far forward she had that ball set for an outside hitter or an opposite. When you're hitting out of the back row, you want that ball ahead of the line, and sometimes setters get into the mindset that if a hitter's going over the 10-foot line, that means the set is too far forward and they push it back further. But what's usually happening is the set is actually too far back and the hitter has to plant their feet in front of them to push back to get to where the set is. And so Bergen did a great job keeping that ball in front where Merritt can get up and go after it in front of the 10-foot line. That's what gives her the ability to hit down over that block.
MacArthur got there late, but it worked out. The block on Murray.
Never give up. That's why they teach that. Never, ever give up. That was a good move by her, not to give up on it. Keep going. Paid off.
Staniszewska now in to serve. Dangerous jump top spin there. Net called on the Spartans. Nebraska running a lot more tandems here in the second set than we've seen maybe in the last couple of matches.
They are. I think they're trying to play with it and just kind of be able to work out some of the things that they might be dealing with, trying to get those rhythms correct and get the matchups and just the patterns, I think, that they're trying to figure out.
You saw Beeson when she swung out of the back row. Andy went up first, Jackson, and pulled by the time Beeson got there, both blockers were already down. It was clear sailing for Beeson. A Moore through the block, and Moore gets the kill.
Yep, that was a nice swing. I think our block could have stepped in on that. You can see Harper Murray, the set comes inside. When your set's that far inside, Harper gets out too far past her. She's got to stay out and then get in when that set dives inside like that. If she dives in, she's going to stuff that ball. She was a good setup if the set had been right, but when the set dives inside, adjustment needs to be a little bit quicker.
And the ace for the Spartans.
That was a good serve. They're a tough serving team, and there's going to be a few of those tonight, but I think our passers are solid passers. They just keep their heads about them, keep hustling, they'll be all right.
20th ace of the season for Nalani Yosia, former Longhorn. Another tough serve. Out of the back row. Little long for Stanishevska.
Michigan State trying some of their own back row attacks, but it looked like she took something off of it. I don't know if she felt like she got too far ahead of the ball or what happened, but she tried to take something off of it and ended up going long.
Great timing in the kill by Okor. Got it at 11.
Michigan State's really working their middles. We're going to have to stop their middles. Hold them. Can't let them have a field day going one blocker and they're just going side to side around them.
Michigan State's serving has really picked up here in set number 2, and Nebraska having a hard time handling the serve. The first touch has not been great.
Yes, and you can see it's giving our offense troubles too. We're not running as smoothly as we were in the first set, so I'm not quite sure what just happened.
Into the game now
Hayden Kubik
for Nebraska. Hayden Kubik in.
Yes, they're looking for her to make something happen, make a change.
In for Harper Murray.
And sometimes all that the team needs is just to take a stop, a pause. When they make a substitution, it can be enough to ice out the server. It's good to see Hayden get some playing time too, though.
There is Hayden Kubik. 6'2" junior out of West Des Moines, Iowa. West Des Moines Valley. Oh, what a set.
That's a great set. That was a great set by Bergen. Great job by Andy Jackson to get up and be ready for it. Michigan State tried to hustle after it, but they couldn't quite get there.
The end of the block, Merritt Beeson. That's 5 blocks now for Nebraska.
Merritt is so far up and over the net there. It is, I mean, you can see armpits over the net, and that is insane for a blocker. It is absolutely bananas.
Serve long by Rodriguez.
Michigan State. Checking into the game for the Spartans. Number 16, Grace Kelly. Back serving number 14, Kayla Holda.
Here is Oldham, who's also a fantastic beach player. She played in the U19 Beach Worlds. Her beach partner is Rosa Vesti from Iowa. Midway point here in the second, 15-13. Nebraska with the slight lead on the Spartan. On Kendall and Harper Murray. Her father Vada, who's a football star at Michigan. Block in the middle.
I think that kill for Andy is just due to how quick she's hitting that ball out of Bergen's hands again, because the block is right there, but she sneaks it between them and the net because she's hitting it so quickly. It's so fun to see the speed that she hits that ball.
Nebraska here in this current set hitting 333 to Michigan State's negative 040, and yet it's a 3-point difference because in this set alone, Nebraska has had 5 service errors.
Yeah, I know they're trying to serve tough, but with a team like Michigan State, when you have a first set like you did, I think you come out and you just stay with it. I don't know if they're trying to do too much right now. I'm not sure what's going on, but the serving errors let a team like Michigan State get back into it when you had them shut down. And Michigan State's playing better too. I'm not taking anything away from what they're doing. Their hitters have been finding a way to get some kills and score some points. But I think the Huskers are giving them too much on the service line right now. That was just a really nice hustle. I mean, that was a tough serve. I was about to say that's a great serve. And the libero hustled after it and perfect pass right up. I mean, that was just a great hustle play by her.
6th block of the match for Nebraska, and they have opened up a 5-point advantage. Huskers leading it 18-13. The success that Nebraska has had in helping their opponents on the road set attendance record. All of these schools setting attendance records when Nebraska was on the road playing in their venue.
Yes, it's so fun that they've been able to go to other gyms and be part of these big crowds too. Crowds that places have not seen until Nebraska played there this year, which is really fun. It just shows the popularity that volleyball has, and I think the draw that this team has as well.
Indiana set a record when Nebraska was there. It was broke the very next night against Purdue. So you see this sport just continuing to grow, and the crowd and the attendance growing, the popularity. So it's fun to see.
It is, and I love to see the people get more into it, just the fans in general. And there are people watching volleyball now who just have no history watching it, and so it's been kind of fun to see as it's taken root and people are just congregating around this sport. Just the support for the Nebraska program and volleyball in general has been outstanding.
Nebraska in the middle of a 5-1 run.
Such a tough play. Andy they had a good touch on that block, and the whole team, you could hear him from up here screaming, "Andy!" But it's hard when you don't know where the ball is. You don't know where you're trying to look and find it. So that's just a tough play. Good move by that to get over there, and Hayden had a good touch on the block, but couldn't find it back. That happens sometimes.
Bishop back in to serve now for the Spartans. Well, what a great setter dump.
They make it look so easy. That was a good serve. Lexi Rodriguez made it look like it was the easiest ball she's ever. That was a good serve. She perfect passes it, puts Bergen right on the net, which gives her any option she wants, and the block can't pay attention to her because they're worried about our hitters. It's a fantastic play. It's fun to watch.
Off the top of the block, Beeson chops at it, nobody there.
Oh, those are tough. It's a good up by Merritt. Somebody's got to play that second ball. But we've talked about how having different players changes your routine, changes your rhythm, changes how your team mixes. And I think you see a little bit of that on Nebraska's side because we've got some different players on the court who aren't necessarily always there. They'll find a way. They'll smooth out that stuff.
John Cook's going to try to smooth it out right now. He takes the timeout at 20-16. Huskers up by 4. So Karolina Staniszewska now to serve.
The serve is long, point, Nebraska.
Not what you want out of the timeout.
Yeah, there's general serving rules. They usually say you never miss like after 20 points. You never miss on game point. You don't miss after a timeout. But somehow those don't always get followed. Nice hustle by their setter to pick that ball up.
Down the line, good dig by Bergen. Hayden got it, back corner. Hayden Kubik.
Great swing by Hayden. That's a sweet high swing to the deep corner. That's her first kill this season. So fun to see her getting involved. You can see the excitement on her face too. She's excited to be out there.
Six service errors here in set number 2 on the Huskers.
I think they typically say side out percentage is between 50 or 60%. So if they don't miss those 6, even if Michigan State sides out half of them, it's a completely different score for this game.
Merritt Beeson with the kill.
Another good swing by Merritt. That was really smart swing. That set died a little bit inside. She got her feet to the ball and then just took something off of it going down the line, hitting it off that high outside hand of the blocker.
Hayden Kubik now back to serve. Nebraska 2 away from set number 2. One-on-one off the block. That's a good swing by Moore.
That is a good swing. It looked like Lindsey Krause was all over it. She found a way to sneak it off her outside hand and get the point. Smart hit. Lindsey wants that one back. You can see as soon as she came down from the block, she wanted it back.
Rachel Maizinga now into the game for the Spartans to serve. Krause inside, took a rip. Staniszewska with a nice dig. Now she'll swing out of the back row. Misconnection there with Maggie Mendelson. Back-to-back points for the Spartans.
They're trying to keep the middles involved, which I think is the right strategy right now, but that timing just isn't quite there. We've got a text chain with the former players going, and that's one of the things we talk about almost every match is we got to keep those middles involved. And I know that they want to do that. They know how important that is to the success of this team.
4 touches on Michigan State, point for the Huskers.
That time they did call it.
So Lexi Rodriguez now to serve for set point here in the second. And you see the numbers for Beeson and Jackson.
That was a good touch by Merritt on that block. They tried to overload her by running the middle wide. She was able to stay put and then get over to her outside, get a good touch, and that set the team up.
And Krause closes it out.
Coming back from Krause.
So ready to go here in set number 3. Becca Alec is in there at middle for the Huskers. Mendelson got the start tonight over Alec.
I thought Maggie did a really nice job. I think her timing just didn't quite get on some of those sets. I'm not quite sure how Becca's feeling. I think she had a knee injury. Not necessarily anything serious, but something they were kind of trying to take care of. Coming after sitting out for 2 sets and then having to come in and play can be kind of tough too, so it'll be interesting to see how Becca adjusts to that.
Lift called there on Alec. Point for the Spartans. Back to serve is Taylor Hold'em. The tape, Rodriguez makes the play on it. Outside to Beeson, who puts it away.
I feel like the play-by-play can just say, Lexi Rodriguez, perfect pass. Lexi Rodriguez, perfect pass. I mean, that is such a tough ball. She gets it perfect up. She has such a good read on that ball. She's moving right to it before it even hits the tape. She knows where, like, it's amazing. She is bananas.
Look at Beeson's numbers. She's hitting .818 for the match. And then into the block, point for Michigan State off the swing of Amani MacArthur, who gets a kill.
Yeah, between the sets, we noticed between Beeson and Jackson, last Friday they had 16 kills between the two of them, but they had 10 errors. And so many errors ends up leading to a lower hitting percentage. They only hit 140. Tonight they've got 15 kills between the two of them already, but only 1 error. So they're now hitting .667. That's such a lift for the team when you're getting kills without the errors to go with them.
Into the net, called on Alex, so Couple of errors off the bench for Alec, one a carry and that one into the net.
Yeah, that's a tough start for Becca. Part of that can just be coming out and trying to get back into the routine and the rhythm of the match. Some people don't always think about is that the setter has to adjust as well because she's got a different hitter now. So the set has to change just a little bit for where Becca's strength is. So it'll be interesting to see how Bergen makes that adjustment.
No touch point for the Spartans, and Michigan State out to a 4-1 lead here in the third.
I don't like that decision by Krause. I know she's trying to keep it in, but that set was low, and Bergen is trying to push that ball out, but it got there too fast. Lindsay wasn't up yet ready to hit. I think she just needs to make a different decision, keep it in play.
Well, in a complete juxtaposition, Nebraska was hitting .404 after two, and here in the third, they're hitting -400.
Yeah, it's not a great start for the Huskers. They're going to want to turn it around because with a team like Michigan State, as with most teams in the Big Ten, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. And so we've got to turn it around, get going again, find our rhythm back so that this doesn't turn into a long match tonight.
Well, there is Aaliyah Moore with a big block on that right side, and Aaliyah Moore now Michigan State on top. 6-1, a 5-0 run, its largest lead of the match. You'll see it a serve. Beeson got it outside the block that time. Found a little seam there between the pin and Grace Kelly for the kill.
She does such a nice job getting her feet inside to the ball and then finding the seam outside of the block to hit, but it's off the line. It's not right down the line that a typical line hit would be, and so that makes it really difficult for that defender to dig a ball off the line into the court. Great hustle. Way to get that up by Lexi, and Harper gives Lindsay Krause a good ball to swing at too.
Ran a quick middle. Got it again, and there's Okur with the kill. Neil Okur in the middle. She's one of those players coming off a slight ankle injury. Did not play in the last two matches last week against Nebraska and Northwestern. Serve just long.
I think if you're the Huskers, you take a deep breath now. Okay, they had an error, they gave us a shot. Now it's our turn. We got to turn it back on, come at them tough.
Here's Krause. Did not get on top of that. Very tough over-the-shoulder swing.
That is tough. She's hitting that ball behind her head, and that's why it's arcing up and deep and long. She's got to keep her feet behind that ball. It's just a tough ball to hit coming from the back row away from the net like that. It's a tough ball to hit to see the block and the ball at the same time. So she's got to keep it in front of her so she has better vision.
Tip not down. Overpass. Jackson puts it away.
It's a great job by Andy Jackson to be aware and be ready to go. That seemed like it should have been an easy play for Michigan State, and unfortunately for them, they didn't take care of the ball, and Andy made them pay. That's what we have to do, though.
Seeing Rachel Maizinga into the game now for the Spartans, running the offense. Maizinga, for the last few points, has been in there at setter. She's a sophomore out of Wheaton, Illinois. Transfer from Penn State. Point Nebraska. Back row attack called on Michigan State.
Again, really good awareness by Andy Jackson, knowing that setter's back row. So if she goes up and touches the ball while Andy's blocking it, that's a point for the Huskers. That's great court awareness. Michigan State has also started serving at Harper Murray almost exclusively. So if Harper can continue handling those serves and giving Bergen something to work with from a setting position, the Huskers are going to have a lot more success.
Swing down the line, but that's long. Looks like right now Maizinga running the show. They've moved away from the 6-2. They're running the 5-1 with Maizinga right now. Obviously, She's only played in 3 matches this year. This is her second appearance in the Big Ten Conference this year. She played a little bit against Northwestern for just a couple of sets.
It seemed like it was paying off for them early on, but
Yeah.
the last few points, they haven't had a rhythm. Their setters' touches aren't seeming to get where their hitters are able to hit. So they should see how that plays out the further this set goes.
And Leah Johnson's just looking for the right formula right now, not only for the hitters and rights and middles, but even if the setter looking for it. So Krause now will serve. Huskers back to within 1 here in the third. In the middle, and Okur has been effective there in the middle. 6'1", maybe undersized middle, but really quick there.
She has been effective tonight. And I think our block is late getting to her. Harper tried to jump in and help there, but she was just a little bit late, and that's why Okur was able to sneak that ball through.
Back row, Beeson. Good up by Mazinga, and it leads to the kill on the left side from Hold'em.
A little bit unconventional going straight from the dig to the kill, but sometimes it happens quick, and that's the only thing as a hitter you can think to do. You turn, you jump, and you swing. Good reaction by her.
Second touch not down. Pushed outside.
That time their outside hitter got a little bit under it,
wide,
tried to take something off and ended up shooting it out of bounds. I'm very familiar with that feeling, so I know how she feels. But it's tough. As hard as it can be, you got to try to keep your feet behind the ball. So you keep that ball in front of you, you can see the court, you can see the block a lot easier. And when you're attacking in front of you, you can get that angle on the ball to hit it down.
10-8 here in Lincoln, along with Nancy Metcalf-Mandering, All-American in Nebraska. I'm Larry Putney. Good to have you with us. From here in Lincoln, as the Huskers on top 2-0. That push by Murray just wide.
That's a close call. I love that play because they've been coming up the line on her and camping out behind the block, and that back corner has been open. So I love it that she sees that. She's trying to go for it. Just missed it a little bit wide.
Julia Bishop now. Tough serve by Bishop. Choboy. Good up by Yosia. There's Bergen Riley with the kill.
Gets the swing and a kill. It's always fun to see a setter when they get a chance to swing at the ball. And I feel like Nebraska has had several setters in recent history that aren't afraid to take a swing at the ball when they get set. It's fun to watch, and it's fun to see their faces after they get the kill, too. A little bit of a, I see, I can do it, too.
Overpass, Alec. Point for Nebraska, back row attack.
Good read by Becca. Way to be aggressive. Same thing, the setter's back row and knowing it.
Well, we talked about it. There it is. The former Nancy Metcalf, now Nancy Metcalf-Mandering, won a national title. 2001. Oh, what's that?
My married name is Metcalf.
Oh, yes. Yes.
My trophy husband, Jason, at home.
Mandering Metcalf.
Yes.
Yes, got it.
Yes.
My trophy husband. That's funny.
No, I'm so honored to have been able to play here. There's so many great memories of my time here, and just so thankful for all of it. So it's fun to come back and be able to see it from a different perspective now.
Overpass, and that's put down by Kelly.
That's unusual from Lexi. It was, again, almost perfect, but a little bit too much on that one. She overpassed it. She doesn't do that very often. Tough serve. She had to lay out to the side to get it up. They're definitely going after Harper now, which is smart because you've either got Harper or you've got Lexi Rodriguez or Lainey Chaboy, who are both amazing passers. So Harper's the right choice to go after. But they're going to keep doing their best to stay solid on passing, and as long as they can do that, the Husker offense can keep rolling. That makes it a lot easier on Bergen, for sure, and then also on our hitters.
Down the line, right on the line. The kill.
That was a nice shot. Not too many hitters can score against Lexi on a ball right at her.
Leah Moore.
But you can see Lindsay's reaching out there to try and get there for the block, and that opens up just enough for her to sneak it through. And Lexi's not quite on the line to dig it.
You can see it catch the line. Delani Yosia. No doubter from Krause.
That'll do. That'll do. She gets some fire on the ball when she gets her timing right. It's fun to watch.
Number 8, Lexi Rodriguez.
Bumps it out to Krause from just off the net. She'll roll it over. Another kill by Aaliyah Moore on the right pin.
If you watch the block here, Krause's going up and over, but you can see Andy Jackson is floating over to try and close it. And sometimes when the set's fast, that's all you can do is float to try and close it, but she can get over as she's floating. That'll take away that seam for their hitter.
Point for Nebraska. Back row block called on the Spartans. I thought she stayed grounded. Maybe went off her feet.
Yeah, that I say, you can see Leah Johnson's arguing it, and it's such a tough call because it's so close and it can happen so quickly. So it's a tough call, and sometimes they can challenge it and they might win, they might not. It's a tough call.
Rolled into the middle by Grace Kelly. And Michigan State back to a 3-point advantage here in the third.
Smart shot right into the middle of the court. The Huskers have to get somebody going forward to pick that ball up. It could be Lindsay Krause coming from the left side. It could be Lexi Rodriguez possibly, or it even could be Harper Murray coming from middle back. But somebody's got to take charge and just fly through that ball.
No touch, and Krause is long, and now a 4-point advantage, and substitution coming in now. Here comes Batenhorst for Krause.
Yeah, that's a tough swing for Lindsay Krause. She's trying to go after it, trying to stay aggressive. Just missed. Coach Cook is just going to give another player a shot, give Krause a minute, take her breath. Hopefully she'll be able to calm down, get herself collected, and gives Batenhorst a chance to see what she can do, and hopefully she can go and make a difference.
Well, Nebraska here hitting negative in this third set once again. As another hitting error on Nebraska, the Huskers will take a timeout. And the Spartans with a 5-point advantage here in set number 3. Trying to pull off a reverse sweep in Lincoln. See if they can do it when we come back.
So my guess is Leah Johnson just feels more comfortable with Myzinga as a front row setter, and so she's using her as the option when they have to play front row. And Michigan State is having a better set than they did the first two, but I truly believe the Husker errors are what are giving up the advantage right now. I don't think they're playing that much better than they did the first two sets. I think it's the Huskers making too many errors. So if Nebraska can turn down their errors, stay aggressive, but keep the ball in play more, I think they can still come back. This set is not over.
So Michigan State will challenge here. Leah Johnson will challenge that there was a touch. In other words, Michigan State was called for 4 touches. They're saying that Nebraska touched it above the net before Michigan State touched it for the 4th time. So they'll double check that. And no, back to we'll take a look at that. Let's see here, did Nebraska touch?
That right there, if it touched her hands, if they can get the net view of that, they'll be able to see if Andy Jackson touched that with her hands. It's hard from this angle because you can't tell how far over it got, if it got to her hands or not. It kind of rolls in the tape of the net. From that angle, it doesn't look like the rotation of the ball changes, so I would lean towards no.
So close.
It is so close. That video is so far away, you can't see it very clearly anyway. So the tough part of challenges is that if video is not really, really good, there's nothing definitive to see, and the call ends up standing, even if potentially it was the wrong call.
Right.
But, I mean, it's fair because both teams have the same challenge in dealing with it, but I just don't think the video there is conclusive enough to overturn it. It definitely goes where her hands are, but I don't think it gets... Oh, that's probably the best view right there.
I would say
you can see air between the ball the whole time.
Yep, I think that is the best view. And what a treat it is, let me just say, to have the Nebraska Public Media cameras on the broadcast, because it is so clear and the cameras are so good.
They do a fantastic job of getting great angles like this.
And
it's tough. I can't imagine trying to always be in the right spot, but they do a great job of getting good angles for people to see what's actually happening in the play.
Yeah, you have the replays that we're able to get just so much more crisp, and that looks like based on that replay it should stand. We'll see. So we'll stay with Nebraska.
I think that's the right call. Based on that one angle, you could see air between the ball and her hand the whole time, so I think that was the right call. But if I were their coach, I probably would have challenged it too. It was close enough that it's worth taking another look at.
So Lenny Choboy now into serve, as Batenhorst will get credit for that last kill. Quick middle. Boy, what a swing by Okor.
And that was set up. That was a fantastic pass by their back row player there. Passed it up perfect to the setter. The setter had all three options, so that makes our block not able to commit with their middle, because she could have fired it back. She could have fired it out to the pin. And so our block is not even actually early enough. Andy's late, but she's also alone, which opens up a lot of angles for Okor to hit. Another great pass by Lexi.
No touch there. Point Nebraska's swing is long. 4-point advantage here for Michigan State at 19-15. Nebraska has been fairly consistent this year, and on the road struggling early, and at home struggling late.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's an explanation for that. Getting used to the other gym maybe at away matches, and maybe they come out fired up at home and then kind of settle down too much.
After you're up 2-0.
I don't know.
It just feels like you can't take a set off in the Big Ten, right?
I don't think you can. I think there's too much parity among these teams. Everybody can play well, and if you give them anything on any given night, they can play with you or beat you. And so the Huskers are finding a way to win even when things aren't going well. They're finding a way to play together, finding a way to score a point. And even this set, even on the last play before this one, the ball was kind of up and it popped up and it was kind of an out of sorts play, and Andy Jackson turned around and kept it in play. And I think that's going to be such a big thing for the Huskers when the ball isn't there. Keep it in play. Give your team a chance to score the point.
I'm feeling it's a big point for both teams. At 19-16, Michigan State doesn't want to give up the short run to Nebraska to get back into it. Trying to get first team to be at 20. Harper, no touch, point Michigan State, and that's a big one for the Spartans.
That is. They got to 21st. They stopped the little run we had with Kennedy serving. That's a tough ball to lose, but, I mean, Harper's got to go after it. She's got to stay aggressive, so I don't hate that swing. I wish it would have been in.
Here in the third, Nebraska already with 10 hitting errors. 8 kills, 10 errors, hitting negative .062.
Those errors are what's killing our team in this set.
What a block on that right pin.
Their block did a nice job getting all the way up and over against Harper. I would have liked to see Bergen fire that ball back just to give somebody a chance with not having two blockers waiting. He's putting Hayden Kubik back in again, going to give her another shot. I like that. I think it changes, makes their server have to think about it, and it results in an error. And I don't think it's always the case, but a lot of times it's because they had to stop and wait while the other team subbed, and it just kind of puts them out of their rhythm serving. They've got to kind of restart their routine, and a lot of times that can mess with the server.
And that was Julia Bishop at the service line, so she's come in to set, and she will set here for the Spartans. Riley goes behind to Beeson, a solo block and a big one by Aaliyah Moore.
That was a good move by Moore. That set died inside, right? Beeson had to jump in to get to it. She actually turned it back out to Moore. She had a hole in the block. She could have hit through if she would have gone cross court. She tried to turn it back to the line and get around Moore, but Moore had a solid block up. That was a good blocking move.
Hayden Kubik from the right pin.
That's a great swing by Hayden. I love it. She goes up, she swings high off the block down the line. It's a great aggressive swing. And really good tempo by Bergen, too. She had that just right in rhythm to her.
2 swings, 2 kills. It's played by Michigan State. Oh, good
nice
communication
hustle by the
there.
Huskers. Yes, that's a tough ball. They managed to get a hand on it, pop it up, never give up. Good hustle by them.
And the block on the left side. Alec is there along with Batenhorst. Wow, was that big.
Now Becca's coming alive. She's getting excited. She's
Really,
definitely one of the emotional leaders on this team.
Really love the communication there, too, between Bergen Riley and Hayden Kubik. Kubik was laying off, and you saw Riley say, get to it, get to it.
Yes.
A little late to it, but was able to keep it up.
But it stayed up, exactly, instead of looking at Bergen, waiting for her to go.
Tough serve right along the line. Riley outside. Swiped at by Batenhorst. Couple of out-of-system swings here for Michigan State. And it hangs just above, and MacArthur puts it down.
It's a smart play. Good reaction by her. See the ball up there and just go after it and put it down. It's a really smart play.
Nebraska will take a timeout. Michigan State. Yosia to serve. Crowd starting to get into it here at the Devaney Center. Batenhorst, no touch. Point for the Spartans, and right away the benches.
Several Husker players calling for the touch, going over to Coach Cook.
Right away, 3 or 4 players turned to Coach Cook and said there was a touch. So John Cook will pull out the green card. Won his only challenge earlier tonight. And it'll either be the score you see on your screen, 24-19 or 23-20.
And I love how they match the music to the situation.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Husker fans want the call overturned, so they're playing Tell Me Something Good.
All right, I'm not going to beat a dead horse about how good these cameras are and how well you can see this, but look at that.
Yes, you can see her pinky almost bent completely
Right?
backwards.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any doubt. There should be a fast overturning one.
This will not take long. I think it really is, it's an indicator of how important super slow-mo is in this type of level of volleyball. You can see the touches, you can see the fingers, able to slow it down and really get a good look.
Yes, I'd agree. The ball moves so fast at this speed. The speed of the game is fast, but then on top of that, the ball's just flying when these girls hit it. They're so strong and they have such quick arms. It happens so quickly that to have TV cameras and angles that can slow it down and see it so clearly is invaluable.
That's pulled back in by Moore. Looked like that was destined to be out. Bumps that out to Beeson. And she finds the back line.
So that time the set was inside as well, but instead of turning it into the block, she got it, waited till it crossed past the block, and then was able to turn it inside the line, outside of the block, which is a tough ball to dig for anybody. But you can see how she goes around the block on the outside here, but the ball's almost to middle back. That's such a tough shot, but Merritt does that better than anybody I've seen, I think.
23-21 here in the third as Leah Johnson takes the timeout. One of the few times tonight the crowd's really started to get into it here at Devaney.
They are. There's a little more on the line right now, I think. They realize that the support for this team is fun, too. The way the crowd can get into it in big moments in this gym makes it a fun atmosphere to play in.
Huskers unbeaten on the year, 15-0, ranked number 2, Michigan State tonight. And, of course, the Big Ten world looking forward to tomorrow night as well when another unbeaten team in the conference, Penn State, in league play at least, comes in. Here's Merritt Beeson.
I like the way you can see on these replays how much she's moving the ball around. The first one was down the line from the right side, then she hit it deep cross court from the right side. There it's almost to middle back around the block outside. Merritt does such a nice job of moving the ball around, not just hitting the same shot every time. That makes her even tougher to defend, on top of the fact that she's hitting it really hard. She's been a great asset for this team and a really good transfer player to step in and fill a role. So it's good to have her here.
All right, let's see if Leah Johnson's timeout works out. There's Bergen Riley with the double-double, her 5th of the season. 25-11. Michigan State still 2 away from taking the set. Overpass! Badenhorst puts it away.
And the crowd erupts. They know how big that is at this point in the set. That's a great serve by Lexi, pushing them deep. They overpass it. Batenhorst is ready. She gets on top of that ball and just crushes it down.
Off the tape. They'll run the middle. Riley's there. Beeson is dug by Bishop. Bump set behind. Batenhorst again off the top of the block, not down. That's a big swing and a big moment for Aaliyah Moore.
That was a huge swing. And tough to take such a big swing. She was set inside. She went after it and just crushed the ball. And Andy Jackson was there, but again, she wasn't over the net yet. And so that ball was able to sneak between her and the net and come down on the Huskers side. It's a tough ball when it's quick, but she's got to really work at getting over.
Set point for the Spartans in the third. Beeson not down. Good up by Yosia.
Good hustle there to chase that ball down.
Batenhorst
Nice
block,
cover.
great covered. Off the top of the block, what a save!
Wow, nice hustle by Michigan State too.
No touch. Duzema thought there was a touch. Leah Johnson thinks there's a touch. And Leah Johnson's going to the card. Did you think there was a touch?
I didn't see it, honestly, but
I thought there was. Oh, no.
I didn't see it. I thought the ball looked too
Yeah.
far away to be within range to touch. But
Not a bad challenge. You're at set point, right?
It's basically a free timeout at this point.
Absolutely. Oh, it did touch. You see the fingers move. Boy, how good is
Wow, that was
How good is that?
microscopic.
How good is that super slow-mo? Watch the finger, the index finger and the middle finger.
Yep. Wow. Well, impressive by them to be able to see that live, too.
Touch.
It's a good call.
Point Michigan State. Set Michigan State, and the Spartans have taken the third from Nebraska, 25-22. Becca Alec to start. She's in the front row along with Harper Murray and Merritt Beeson. Off the tape. Scramble there for the Spartans. Point for Nebraska to start the fourth.
Kind of an unusual point to win, but I know the Huskers are just taking what they get.
We've seen some unusual play here.
Yes. Yes.
That is long.
Michigan State.
I like that they're staying aggressive, but the Huskers just had too many errors in that third set. You've got to be able to cut down on errors.
There, Beeson again.
Checking in for your Huskers, number 14, Alex Ward. Back serving.
Merritt does a nice job of just hanging and finding a hole in the block and hitting it high hands on that block.
Love the set.
I did too. It was good tempo. Just kind of flew out to her.
Good push to the back. Harper Murray couldn't get to it. 2-2.
It's a smart play by their hitter. I don't like that set very much, but it was effective. It got where she needed it to go, and it was a really smart play by her. She had a block in front of her, and she just pushed it high and deep, knowing that Harper's probably playing in the middle of the court. Those corners are usually the best place to go with balls when you have to tip them.
The serve is long, point, Nebraska. Back serving for your Huskers, number 8, Lexi Rodriguez.
So Lexi Rodriguez now back to serve. Targeting Hold'em. Good reaction, kept alive. Free ball opportunity here for the Spartans. One-on-one, tip. Great tip by Grace Kelly.
That is a good tip. And that's unfortunate because Andy Jackson didn't block. And I think she knows if you're not blocking as a middle, your job is to go and get the tip. And she just kind of stopped and waited. And that's her responsibility to get that ball, because if there's only one blocker, Bergen has to stay back and dig that line. It's a smart play by the Michigan State outside.
Great dig, but out. And Andy Jackson with some heat gets the kill.
Yes, comes back, gets on top of the ball. That quick arm again.
That is now 10 kills for Andy Jackson. And her numbers have really flipped here over the last 2 sets. She has 10 kills now, 16 swings, 2 errors, hitting .500. Hitting .404 on the season is Jackson. Point for Nebraska.
Smart play again by Nebraska, knowing the setter's back row and just going up and staying aggressive on that.
Yosia takes the first pass. Well off, but they get bailed out of it on the swing by Hold'em.
Their outside hitters have taken some pretty strong swings on some out-of-system, not easy balls, but our block isn't being disciplined right now. If we get over the net, that's a point for us. But because we're reaching, we give them a seam, and that ball kind of bobbles in between and ends up being a point for Michigan State.
On the slide, Jackson, no doubt. Right outside the block.
Great swing again by Jackson. That timing was perfect. She was contacting that ball in front of her and hitting it down. Here it goes from another angle. You can see how high she gets up, and just one blocker really that's in front of her, and she's able to go outside the blocker. She also had cross court between the block open, so just tremendous vision by her as well.
Point, Michigan State. Checking in for the Spartans, number 13, Aaliyah Moore.
There is Nalani Yosia back in for the Spartans. You'll remember she played at Texas, and Husker fans will certainly remember 2021 when Nebraska went down to Texas, beat the Longhorns in Austin, Texas to advance to the Final Four. She was the libero on that Texas team. Boy, did she have a rough night that night when Nebraska knocked off the Longhorns in Austin.
I think any Nebraska fan likes a night when the Longhorns have a tough night. No love lost there.
Nalani has transferred to now playing for the Spartans here in her senior year.
Bergen trying to be a little bit deceptive there when she got pulled out of the perfect setting position, thinking she could get away with a dump, but their block was ready for it. That time the Huskers pick up the tip right over the block. And they're calling for a touch.
And there was. Murray gets the kill. Just the 4th kill for Harper Murray. You can see it swipe the hands of MacArthur.
That's a nice swing by Harper. I didn't realize she only had 4 tonight.
Well, hitting -2, negative 048.
Yeah.
4 kills, 5 errors, 21 swings.
I think she has such a presence on the court that's easy to not notice if she hasn't been scoring as much.
Back to serve number 14, Kayla Holda.
She has seemed to be one of those players who loves the big moment, performs big in the big sets and big moments, and maybe not as focused and intense point to point.
Yeah, that can happen sometimes with players. They get really amped up and they play their best at the big moments, but if it doesn't have that pressure or that intensity on a less important moment, maybe it's not quite there.
There's Alec. Becca Alec in the middle. And I believe that is Alec's 2nd kill. 2 kills on 4 swings for Alec.
Nice swing. I'm glad they're getting Becca involved too. Give her a chance to get involved in the offense. That helps get in the flow of the game.
Good push, but Becca Alec, number 2 in the league in blocks. And a big one there.
Yeah. You can see why. She is all over that. I think Harper got that block. Harper Murray actually got the block, but Becca's right there. And I think a lot of the times as well, hitters are trying to avoid a blocker and they end up hitting into the other blocker because of that. So even if you don't block the ball, in Becca's case, even if she doesn't block the ball, she can be affecting where the hitter hits, which leads to a block by somebody else.
Great up by Riley. Swiped off the hands. That went off the hands of MacArthur. Kill for Merritt Beeson. She has 13 kills and a timeout for the Spartans as Nebraska's opened up a 4-point advantage here in the 4th.
It's a nice play by Merritt, just being lively.
So Leah Johnson took the timeout. We'll see Bergen Riley at the service line. Huskers up by 4. And a service error. For Michigan State, that's exactly what you wanted to see.
Yes, that's not what the Huskers wanted. Not out of a timeout. But it accomplished what Leah Johnson hoped to. Huskers back in rotation 1, though, with Bergen back in the right back. So they've got 3 hitters in the front row, so they're in a good rotation this side again. Or that will do it for them.
Spartans return the favor.
Traded serving errors. Now we're back to us.
20 aces on the year and 20 errors for Yosia. Off the net, rolled over. Allie swipes it off the block and got the kill. Allie Batenhorst.
I don't even know how she got that through. I think she swung at that with knuckles. But somehow she got it around. I mean, that was a tough ball. It was tight, it was high. Just swung outside the block, and smart play by her. I think she actually did get it off the block as well. So even if it had gone out of bounds, I think that would have been a touch. Smart play by Allie.
2 kills, no hitting errors, 8 swings for Allie Batenhorst, and there's the block for Nebraska, and they've extended that lead now to 6 here in the 4th.
Merritt Beeson gets that one. You can see again how far over she is. She's up at that net over to her armpits. That's such a huge block to hit against.
6-1 Nebraska run. Beeson, good dig by Yosia. And then out of the back row, the kill by Hold'em.
That's a nice transition play by Michigan State. Beeson really laid into that ball, and she crushed it, and they had a nice up, and they were able to transition into a back row attack. Smart play. Nice high swing by Hold'em there.
So Maizinga now back into serve. Rachel Maizinga, the transfer from Penn State. She spent one season with the Nittany Lions, was the 30th ranked prep senior. What a swing by Alec!
Becca getting excited. So fun to watch players who have such excitement and just joy for the game. And you know, she can hit really hard too.
Yeah, there's that, right?
There's that. Nice serve. Lexi puts them out of system, makes their setter really hustle after it, and they don't get a ball to swing at.
And Jackson goes off the block and gets a kill.
Good swing by Andy Jackson. That's her career high tonight. She's got her 13th kill now. That's her most she's had. She's having a good night.
13 kills, 19 swings, 2 errors.
This team's overpassing, the other team hits it out or something. She's doing a nice job taking care of the ball. And she's got 5 blocks tonight to go along with that. She's having a great night.
10 blocks for the Huskers, 5 of those from Andy Jackson. Just get a feeling you're going to see a lot of nights like this from Andy Jackson throughout her career. And Batenhorst with another kill. Batenhorst has done a really nice job off the bench.
She has. She's come in and made a difference for the Huskers and been a positive, which is good to see. And somehow she powers that ball through. The block is there, but she's able to rattle it through between them and gets the kill out of it.
4 kills for Batenhorst. No errors. She's sitting above 300, and that's Nebraska's 12th service error of the match.
Back serving for the Spartans, number 16, Grace Kelly.
And back to serve now is Grace Kelly. Mount Vernon High School, Alexandria, Virginia. And it's 14 service errors on the Spartans. How about the hitting percentages by set, right? Let's go back and look at in set 1, Nebraska hit 393. In set 2, they hit 414. In the third, it was 0. And here in this 4th set, they're hitting 625.
It's insane how much it can go up and down, but you can see how much of a difference it makes when you're not making errors. In that 3rd set, they had 12 kills, but they had 12 errors. That puts them right back at 0 so quickly. This set so far, I think they have 1 hitting error only, which allows them to hit at such a high percentage and makes them so much tougher for other teams to stop.
And that is the 6th block for Andy Jackson.
Great move by Andy.
Point, Michigan State. Back serving for the Spartans.
So we're not making hitting errors, but I think that's their 6th serving error of this set.
On the slide, Jackson. Other way, Batenhorst tools the block again. She's done a nice job of going off hands.
She did. That's a great job turning the ball, seeing the outside hitter's outside hand on the block and just wrapping it right off that outside hand. She's had some success tonight doing that. It's good to see her go back to it because it's working.
5 kills, 11 swings, no errors for Batenhorst. She's hitting 455. It's just a little long and wide by Choboy.
Michigan State. Checking in for the Spartans, number 13.
As long as they keep serving aggressive, they're going to keep Michigan State out of system, but if you keep giving them points and they don't have to work for it, it makes it feel a little too easy for them. So hopefully they can keep these serves in and keep Michigan State on their heels.
Overpass. Riley on the second touch. That pass was a little tighter than it too.
It's a great hustle by Lainey Chaboy getting that ball up and keeping it in play for her team.
Bishop too. And there's a one-handed up by Yosia. Nice defense here in this round.
It is. It's fun to see good defense. And it's all about hustle. You can't coach hustle.
And Murray closes it out with a sharp angle thumb down. Watch this. Great up by Choboy on one side. Julia Bishop with the pancake.
Coming back, she's clearly under that. That's just a great hustle play on both sides of the net. There's some really nice defense.
And the one-hander by Yosia. Point for Nebraska. I think this is frustrating Leah Johnson. She's like, I've never seen so many back row blocks called.
They've gotten called on that several times tonight. And I think the Husker players are doing a really good job of being disciplined, not reaching over into Michigan State area, but knowing when that setter's back row and it's available. She touches that ball in the air, it's our point.
Leah Johnson walked toward the RT with both hands in her face. You've got to be kidding me. How many of these are we going to have? Taylor Hold'em now back to serve. (22-13), Nebraska 3 away from their second 3-1 victory in a week over Michigan State. Harper Murray, she's heating up here a little bit in set number 4 after really struggling through 2 and actually getting pulled from momentarily by John Cook. She's come back here, now has 5 kills, 6 kills make it.
She has, and good to see her staying aggressive on that. She takes a nice high swing, but goes after the ball. She's not playing timid, she's not holding back. That's good to see.
What a great line shot there, little thumb down outside the block. Good swing by Akor. Oh, check that. That was Leah Moore.
Leah Moore. That was a great swing by Leah Moore. Sees that small sliver down the line, and she's able to hit it and place it in front of Lexi Rodriguez, who isn't probably an easy person to score on typically. So it's a great swing by her.
Neil Akor back in now for the Spartans. Elani Yosia to serve. Harper Murray, another kill. That's 6. And that's match point now here for the Huskers.
It's a nice swing by Harper, getting her feet to the ball and keeping it high. The Michigan State block was there, but they didn't quite get over, and she's able to capitalize on that.
Well, that was a quick set and a quick swing by Aaliyah Moore.
That's Moore again behind. She's finding that line. Our outside blockers need to recognize that, know that that's her shot she's going to, and get outside of her so she doesn't have that open.
10 kills to lead Michigan State for Aaliyah Moore. Michigan State hitting .097 for the match. Nebraska .297. Match point number 2.
Very fitting that Becca gets the final point and she goes up and destroys the ball. That's a great swing by Becca. But a good job by the Huskers, I think, coming back after a really rough third set with so many hitting errors. They came back and they played really clean from the attacking perspective in that 4th set. They're serving, they ended up having too many errors in that in the 4th set, but attacking-wise, they were...
चल के बाद बंदे के भोला समिति से भमिया तोहार सिर्फ संडे के बुझो जी अब करे हमारे इंतजार किसन संडे के
दिन तो ठंडे के आइल बाटे तो मंडे के
भमिया तो है सिर्फ संडे के अब करे हमर इंतजार किस्म संडे के।
ऋषभ रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो सिमरा।